My boyfriend is drugging me. Last month, I noticed that something was off with my boyfriend. He was being too nice recently, like cleaning up his dirty dishes and being attentive to my needs. I would have thought this was a good thing if only I hadn't caught him waking up in the middle of the night and leaving the house. I tried waiting for him to come back, but I fell asleep after some time, and the next thing I knew, he was back in bed with me. That morning, it suddenly clicked, like I found all the pieces to the puzzle. That's why he was acting so nice. And recently, I would admit that we haven't had sex for a while, and I thought he just wasn't in the mood these days. Now I know why. He's been cheating on me. I was furious and heartbroken. I told my best friend, Natalie, all about it, and she was as heartbroken as me. She kept asking if I was sure about it. I mean, think about it. What other explanation could it be? He'll be gone the whole night and come back in the morning just before I wake up? I mean, what do you think he did? Buy some milk? I said to her that I have a plan. I'm going to wake up before he does and catch him red-handed. My best friend just nodded and said that it was a good idea. That night, my boyfriend prepared a nice meal for me, something he hadn't done before, and I was mildly surprised. I pretended not to know anything about his infidelity, so our conversation went normally. However, when we finally settled back into bed, I had fallen asleep almost instantaneously. My sleep was so good that I wasn't able to wake up at midnight. I was disappointed with myself. How could I have just slept in? What's weird is that in the following nights, that kept happening to me. I couldn't wake up in the middle of the night. I also tried staying up all night, but at some point, I would fall asleep. That's very unusual, since I have been a night shift employee before, and I didn't have this kind of trouble of suddenly falling asleep. Sometimes, I couldn't even remember what happened last night. I suddenly thought, maybe my boyfriend is drugging me, putting something in my food or drinks to make me sleep through the night. That's the only possible explanation I could think of. But then I asked myself, how did he know about my plan? My heart sank as I realized the answer to the question. Natalie, my best friend. I couldn't believe it. Why would she betray me? Is she my boyfriend's lover? At this point, I was so angry, I skipped dinner and drank only water from the tap. I made sure none of my boyfriend's drugs would reach me. Still, my boyfriend was persistent that I at least eat something small or drink some milk. To me, that was a confirmation that he was indeed drugging me. I was about to confront him about his infidelity right then and there, but then I suddenly felt a blunt force hit me at the back of my head and I was out. When I woke up, I was tied up in my bed and my boyfriend was watching me at the corner of our bedroom. He was biting his lips and looked very nervous. What is this? What are you doing? I asked him. His eyes lit up when he saw me awake. He then ran to our living room and called someone. My heart sank when I saw who it was. It was Natalie. I yelled immediately after seeing her. It was you! How dare you! I shouted at her. Natalie asked me to calm down. It's not what you think, she kept repeating. I'm gonna kill both of you when I get out of here. I kept trying to free myself, but eventually I gave up. They used some of the thickest ropes I've ever seen. Babe, listen to me, my boyfriend said. I'm not cheating on you, and certainly Natalie and I have no romantic relationship. I get out of bed every night because I need to stay safe. Stay safe? I asked. Safe from what? From you, he answered quickly. What? John, it's nearly 3. We should get out of here, Natalie whispered. My boyfriend then took out a paint bucket and painted my hands and legs with red paint. I was so confused and I struggled as he did it. All the while I was thinking, Who is this person? Is this really my boyfriend? How could he do this to me? And as if he could hear me thinking, he kissed me on the forehead and said, "You'll understand everything tomorrow, I promise." Before I could reply, he and Natalie ran away and I was all alone in our bedroom. I kept screaming for help, but I knew it was pointless. My mind was racing as fast as my heartbeat. My lungs felt like they were shrinking as I breathed the air. No, how could they do this to me? Why are they doing this? I kept trying to free myself, but I got exhausted at some point and blacked out. When I woke up, I was still in bed, but I noticed that the ropes that bound me last night were roughly severed and my wrists burned like hell. I looked around the room. I understood John. The floor, the walls, and the ceiling as well were full of red handprints.
My handprints.